Every year in this country, millions of people are arrested. Their fate, whether they go home or go to prison, often comes down to a single document. A police report. A few paragraphs written by one officer in a squad car or at a desk, sometime after midnight. Those words are read by prosecutors, judges, and juries. They are treated as fact, as truth. But here's what most people never ask. Who taught that officer what to write? And more importantly, what did they teach him to leave out? This is Marcus. He's 23 years old. He grew up watching his uncle get pulled over for no reason 3 times in one summer. He became a cop because he wanted to be different. He passed every test. He scored near the top of his class. And today, graduation day, he is raising his right hand and swearing an oath to protect and serve. He believes every single word. The academy gave Marcus a rulebook. It told him what he could and couldn't do, when to use force, how to document an encounter, how to write a report that was accurate, complete, and legally defensible. The academy was very clear about this. What the academy didn't teach Marcus, what no rulebook ever does, is what happens when the officer training him doesn't follow any of those rules. Meet Officer Dean. 12 years on the force, 3 commendations, 1 excessive force complaint, dismissed. Dean is Marcus's field training officer. For the next 6 months, Dean is Marcus's entire world. Whatever Dean does, Marcus watches. Whatever Dean says, Marcus absorbs. And on their very first shift together, Dean says something Marcus won't forget. Forget what they taught you in there. Out here, you write what protects you and your partner. That's it. Everything else is politics. Marcus nods. He doesn't agree. But he's 90 days into a career he spent 3 years preparing for. He's not going to argue with a 12-year veteran on the first day. In the first month, Marcus notices something. There's an inside and an outside in this precinct. The officers who have been around, they move differently. They have lunch together. They cover for each other on shift changes. They speak in a kind of shorthand Marcus doesn't understand yet. He tells himself he just needs time. He tells himself that once he earns their trust, he'll be part of it. He's not wrong about that. He just doesn't understand yet what earning that trust will actually cost him. 3 months in, 11:40 p.m., Marcus and Dean spot a broken taillight on a late-model sedan. They pull it over. The driver is Kevin, 34 years old, on his way home from a double shift at a warehouse. Kevin has no warrants, no weapons, nothing in the car except a fast food bag and a phone charger. He rolls down the window, hands visible, and does everything right. Dean runs Kevin's license. It comes back clean. By the book, this stop is over. Kevin gets a warning for the taillight. They go home. Marcus files a 2-line report, and nobody thinks about it again. That's not what happens. Dean opens the car door and tells Kevin to step out. Kevin asks why. Dean doesn't answer. He reaches in. Kevin ends up on the ground, face down on the asphalt. Dean has his knee in Kevin's back. Kevin is not fighting. He never fought. He's saying repeatedly, clearly, "I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting." Marcus is watching all of this from 6 feet away. He has a choice right now. He doesn't make it. He just watches. Back at the precinct, it's time to write the report. Marcus opens the incident form. He starts typing what happened. The tail light. The stop. Kevin's compliance. The moment Dean pulled him out of the car. Dean leans over his shoulder and reads for a few seconds. Then he says 5 words. Just 5. And those 5 words are going to change everything about who Marcus becomes. Leave all that out. Write, subject resisted arrest. Marcus doesn't move. He knows that's not what happened. He was standing right there. Kevin didn't resist anything. But Dean isn't asking. He's informing. And in the silence that follows, Marcus understands something for the first time. This is the real test. Not the academy exam. Not the physical. This moment. Right now. This is what police report falsification actually looks like in practice. It is not dramatic. It is not some elaborate scheme. It is one sentence. 4 words swapped out for 4 different words. Kevin complied becomes subject resisted. The truth of what happened lives in Marcus's memory. It just never makes it to the page. Marcus types it. He hits submit. He sits there for a moment staring at the screen. He tells himself it's just this once. He tells himself Kevin wasn't seriously hurt. He tells himself that next time, if something like this happens again, he'll say something. He'll push back. He'll do the right thing. He won't. Because here's what Marcus doesn't understand yet. The first one is never just this once. The first one is a door. And once you walk through it, it doesn't close behind you. 6 months later, it's easier. A year later, it's automatic. The hesitation is gone. His fingers don't pause over the keyboard anymore. He knows exactly which phrases to use. Officer perceived an immediate threat. Subject made a furtive movement, fearing for officer safety. These aren't lies to Marcus anymore. They're just language. The language of the job. The language Dean taught him. The language every report in this precinct is written in. At 18 months, Marcus gets promoted to field training officer. He's reliable. He doesn't ask questions. He doesn't create problems. His supervisor writes in his performance review, Officer Marcus demonstrates strong situational judgment and exceptional report writing skills. He's not wrong. Now Marcus has a rookie of his own, a 22-year-old who scored near the top of his academy class and wants to make a difference. Marcus looks at this kid and sees something he can't quite name. Maybe himself. Maybe Dean. Maybe both. He leans in and reads what the rookie is typing. He sees something that needs to change. He taps the kid on the shoulder, and he says 5 words. The cycle doesn't require malice. It doesn't require a conspiracy. It just requires one senior officer, one new recruit, and one report that nobody ever checks. Kevin finally gets a copy of the police report. His attorney requested it as part of a civil complaint. Kevin reads the words, subject resisted arrest, and he reads them again. He knows those words are false. He was there. His knees were on that asphalt. And now those words are the official legal record of what happened that night. Kevin files a complaint with the department's Internal Affairs Division. He gathers everything. Medical records from that night. A witness statement from a neighbor who saw the stop from her porch. A statement from his attorney. He submits all of it. And then he waits. 90 days later, Kevin receives a letter. His complaint has been dismissed. Insufficient evidence. The Internal Affairs investigation consisted of interviewing Dean, interviewing Marcus, reviewing the police report, the one Marcus wrote, and concluding that it was accurate. The very document being challenged was used as evidence that the document was accurate. 2 weeks after Kevin filed his complaint, he was pulled over. Different officers, different part of town. 2 weeks after that, another stop. Then a parking ticket appeared on his car, a car that had not moved in 4 days. Kevin told his attorney. His attorney told him this was a common pattern of retaliation against people who file complaints against officers. Common. It has a name because it happens so often it needed one. Kevin's civil suit was settled quietly. A number he was legally prohibited from disclosing, paid by the city, paid by taxpayers, while Dean and Marcus faced no discipline whatsoever. Dean retired 6 months later with full pension and benefits. Marcus is still on the force. He has trained 4 officers since that night. This story is not about one bad cop. Dean was not born corrupt. Marcus was not born a liar. This is a story about a system that never punishes falsified reports, that actively rewards the officers who file them, and that hands new recruits directly to the people who already learned how it works. It starts on day 1. It starts with 5 words. And somewhere tonight, in a precinct in this country, a rookie is hearing them for the first time. Next video, Marcus's report ends up in court. A man's freedom depends on it. Here's exactly what Marcus says on the stand, and what his sergeant told him to say the night before. Follow so you don't miss it.